No, let's get into it, right? NFL preseason continues. Man, injuries are starting. We've already had a ton of injuries, and they're starting to rear their ugly head with serious injuries hitting a lot of these NFL players out there.
Why do you think that is so much now, as opposed to back, if you're my age, and none of you are, but back in the 70s, 80s, training camp is how you got in shape, and there wasn't all this. I have a strong theory as to why. Do you have
back in the day, you didn't work out like you did in the off season, and your body getting ready and stuff like that. And then, like when Dale's time, they'd show up, and like you said, they'd spend the first week hitting, getting their bodies in shape, ready to hit, stuff to that effect. But like when you start seeing things like pectoral muscles ripping off the bone, that's just to me, that's just a strength thing, meaning they're coming in too wound up, not enough stretching type of stuff. And so then they're getting the impacts against them, and then eventually it's just going to tear off the bone. ACL injuries and stuff, it's just because same thing. They're getting in such a good shape in the offseason, they pull in and they go to cut, and these are like, nope.
Yeah, I think it's a little different than that. Here's my theory, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I'm right. What these players ingest to become a 6'2", 225-pound receiver, when receivers were 5'10", $180.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. I say receiver, but it's as bad on the line. How many 300-pounders did we have playing in 1985, 86, 88? Now how many do we have? The difference is mama's little helper, baby. You got big money in football, and big money brings big temptation. And what these kids do is pack on so much mass on their body and their skeletal frame that's simply on turf, and 18 games plus a preseason, body can't take it. And you see stuff, shoulders, it doesn't matter what it is, it's snapping all over because there's too much muscle on the small skeletal frame doing that kind of activity with other huge men hitting you, pounding you, and twisting you into unusual angles. So I believe that the strength is part of it. The lack of hitting that the NFL takes away now from the latest collective bargaining or two, and they have to because lawyers are litigating hitting out of football. And then the fact that these guys pack on the mass that they do, all three of those is why we're seeing what we're seeing.
And we're seeing some big guys. I mean, you've been all over Twitter all week with these big injuries being announced. Like, how you're not betting overs right now.
No, they do. They can't wait. They can't wait to. And here's the other thing. And I love VEASAN. They're my employer for 10 years since its inception. But I don't listen to one thing from them I shouldn't say that. I listen to 10% of what I listen to normally with them from July to the end of the preseason. And that's because the opinions tend to not be diverse. And I don't want to be polluted by others' opinions. I've read my due diligence book, which is 600 pages. That's what I want. That's what I got. I'm using my own study, and I don't want to be influenced by outside opinion. Now, I have handicapper friends that find that fascinating. They say they want to know every opinion. They want to know everybody's opinion out there so they can make their own. So there is no right or wrong way of doing it. It's just that I want to, if I'm going to lose some money, I'm going to lose money on my own due diligence, not on what I heard some attorney say on the, sports radio.
Exactly. So I got some teams here. I know I've been asking you just some kind of opinion on teams and stuff like that. I don't know if you had a plan thing here.
I'll pull them out of here and tell you what I think.
I'm going to go with the team I think is going to be bad this year to start off with, but I'm going with them just to see maybe if there's some upside to them, and I'm talking Cleveland Browns right now.
Yeah, you sure picked easy fodder.
Obviously, in that division, I'm not expecting enough, so I'm kind of looking more towards the season total kind of a thing with them. Obviously, huge defense. They lost Garrett, but they still have a pretty good defense. But their quarterback situation, it's now looking like Shedeur Sanders is going to win that job. Deshaun Watson's getting booed at practices by fans and stuff to that effect. Any hope for the Browns at all to look at anything this year? Because what I'm getting at in the perspective, so people know it, Cardinals, I feel like there's nothing but upside to the Cardinals off of that 3.5 number. The Browns, I'm not sure that's the case.
Well, the Browns' number is not 3.5. First of all,
I was just using the Cardinals as kind of my reference.
What is the Browns' number?
Let me look up the new one here for you.
Well, first of all, to kick off with the Browns, because of their poor schedule, the poor result last year, they have the 4th easiest strength of schedule this year. Mm-hmm. So that helps a team that I think needs improvement. Listen to the rankings just from my study. Quarterback 31, O-line 32. I see O-line 32, I almost just take the page, turn it over, and handicap the next team. Because if you don't have horses, you got no shot. So 32 ranked O-line. Running back 26. Wide receiver 30. Okay, front 7, 6. Secondary 10. Head coach, we don't know, first year. I think I can see Cleveland being competitive in their division because I think that division all balls up and looks 8-8.
Okay.
All of them. And so I expect Baltimore not to be everything people are making them out to be, and I don't think Cleveland going to be as poor as they're made out to be. 0 net rest. They have 3 situations where they're on the road back-to-back, so 2 straight weeks. Their home opener isn't until week 3. Tight end, Fannin Jr., and wide receivers. They got to find some wide receivers. And just for your own information, the kid from Denver, it ain't him.
Yeah.
From November 15th to December 13th, the Cleveland doesn't leave home. So they have Houston, a bye, Raiders, Cincinnati, Atlanta at home. Raiders and Atlanta, I think, could be winnable games. So I look for Cleveland to be not as terrible as everybody thinks. I think the terrible teams could be Washington, and especially now because the 2 major offensive linemen dinged up, and maybe Miami. I'm not putting Arizona in there because from the get-go, I said here a month ago, I'm not afraid of Arizona, and I'm not.
By the way, the Browns looks like everywhere except for one place. It looks like it's 5.5 right now.
So they got to win 6
title.
games.
6.5 on FanDuel. On DraftKings.
What's
6.5.
the under?
5.5.
What's the price of it?
Yeah, I'm looking. Sorry, I just got to pull back up to it here as I was looking to see. On the over 6.5 is plus 140 on DraftKings. Everybody else, it's around 125, 115, 125 on the under for that 5.5. So let's see here.
Yeah.
I
I could see 5 to 7 out of them.
I'm just seeing the quarterback situation, and you don't go anywhere with an offensive line. You generally don't go anywhere without a quarterback also. And that's why I'm looking at those numbers going, how are the Browns? Is there a play here with the Browns and on the expectation side of it and level of things? So I was thinking about them this weekend.
Legit. I mean, when you look at offensive line, I mean, they could have Stafford back there, and you'd bet that he wouldn't make the season out.
Right.
So, I all the way around, I'm not bullish on the Browns. When I grew up, I grew up, my dad was a big Bear fan. Gale Sayers was from Omaha, so I grew up a Bear and a Brown fan. So if there's any smidge of fandom left in me, and there's not, it would be to the Browns or the Bears. And until last year, the Bears and the Browns were in the same paragraph. Terrible.
Interesting enough, I found this. It's by a, I don't know if I should plug them, but it's Vegas Insider here, and they just
I know
have
those guys.
Okay, are they legitimate? Is it somebody you could trust?
Who wrote it?
You know what? I don't have that in front of me. Here.
Maybe Brian Edwards.
Yeah, it looks like it was Brian Edwards.
Yeah, he's a good buddy of mine. Lives in Florida.
They can be trusted. I was just kind of being sarcastic, but they just have the 3 over bets by ticket count in the NFL win totals: Giants, Raiders, and Broncos. And Broncos are at 9.5 wins this year. On the over under line for season wins.
The Broncos are an over team.
Top 3 over bets. They're one of them there.
Season totals. That's because it's 9.5 and the number's wrong.
Okay, well that's why I want to ask you. Denver Broncos. Their offense with Bo Nix last year. had success, but they also would win a game 3-0 if they needed to with that stellar defense out there. With the breakdowns you do on the schedules and rest and all that stuff, 9.5, I agree with you. That tells me people think that 9.5 number is wrong, and they think it should be higher. Do you kind of see it the same way for the Broncos?
I do. 11th easiest strength of schedule. It toughens up a bit from last year, but they face real easy rush defenses. You got Dobbins, the running back, coming off an injury, but you got a rookie running back coming in, and this kid Harvey that's not bad. Sean Payton back. Davis Webb, first year, going to be calling plays instead of Payton. That'll be interesting. They bring in Waddle from Miami, who's going to be able to stretch the defense for them, a tool they did not have last year. Offensive line rank. Offensive line, the money they spent on the offensive line. Second, front 7, 4. So, I mean, right now, if Denver was a piece of cake right here, you'd see me salivating all over myself. I want to use other analogies that are inappropriate right now. Let's take a look. Jonah Coleman's this running back they brought in. By the end of the season, you're going to hear about him because it's going to be him and Harvey. Dobbins is old and a perfect example of a guy's packed on too much for his body, keeps breaking down. 11-2 in one-score games last year was Denver. Usually people like me will say, oh, that might regress. I think it goes the other way because I don't see anything but improvement on the defense, and I see tons of improvement on the offense, provided their quarterback's going to be okay. Let's see what else we got.
So the hype on the Broncos seems to be real.
Plus 3 net rest. I think in that division, the Broncos and the Chargers are the teams at the top, and Kansas City then Las Vegas.
And Chargers just lost another.
Not bullish on Kansas City.
And Chargers just lost another offensive lineman before the season starts. Like every year, one of their star offensive linemen goes down for a long period of time or the season from that side. So you're still bullish on the Chargers then. We'll just roll right into that in that same division.
Whoa. Well, the Chargers got some different kinds of issues, namely negative net rest, minus 13 days. That's the Raiders because they're 24.
I would say Chargers aren't they the worst or second worst in the league?
It's the worst in 25 years of the NFL.
Yeah.
All my pages are unalphabetical now because I fire through them. Minus 24 net rest, 32nd in the NFL. No teams had it that bad in 25 years. It's just terrible. From week 3 to the end of the season, they have the toughest schedule in the NFL. They got 2 sets of back-to-backs, and they play with a rest disadvantage or a slight rest advantage from week 6 to week 13, meaning that they got 2 days over the opponent, then they're down 3 days, up 1, down 1. It really hard to try and get continuity that way. But what they do have is one of the best coaches in the NFL. They just brought McDaniel in from Miami to run the offense. They've got, adequate wide receivers. We'll have to see how that works out, but tight end and running back, they're strong. They're going to be a running team with defense. And really the one thing with the Bears, I really would love to fade them, but I'm afraid of that head coach, man. I just have respect for him. I got to watch him a while. And as far as the Chargers are concerned, Jim Harbaugh is it. It's as simple as that. I mean, that dude is a winner. And so I don't care what they put on his plate, they're going to eat it. And I think the Chargers may not exceed 10.5 or 11.5 wins by the end of the season, but I do believe they and Denver fight for the top of that division. They both make the playoffs, and nobody going to want to play the Chargers in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm high on the Chargers every year, just injuries and disappointment.
You got Jimmy Harbaugh this year. That's
hits you out there as well. Just to wrap up the NFL segment, Lou, and I'll give you a minute if you have anything you want to say, but the top 3 and under tickets, according to BetMGM and NFL win totals, since you just talked about Miami Dolphins, under tickets, they're the number 1. 4.5 is their over-under right now. The New England Patriots at 9.5. which with that division, that does scare me a little bit. I don't know if they'll go under in that division.
That's all Vrabel.
Other than the Bills there. And then the Green Bay Packers, under tickets. They're top 3 there. 10.5 is their over-under for the season totals. And the under tickets for them is their top 3. So I know you're not high on Green Bay.
Are you sure Green Bay's 10.5?
That's what they have on this. I haven't looked. That's what they have on this on this report here. Do they go 9.5 now?
I'm certain.
Yeah, and then top 3 and under money. By the way, folks, because I'm high on the Cardinals, but they have on this page I got here from Vegas Insider. They have Arizona Cardinals 4.5. So if that's the case, that line is moved there. But the top 3 and under money, Arizona Cardinals is number 1 on that list. Yeah,
I love
and
that.
money side of it.
I love that. That makes me more confident in my wager because, again, as we've talked before, no one knows what goes on behind the doors of an NFL franchise. No one that's outside the doors, that is. And so no one knows a damn thing about what's going to happen in the NFL Week 1 right now. They don't. Now, the people that think they do make those kinds of bets, which is perfect because I understand I know nothing. They don't understand that. So as Socrates said, if you want to be wrong, follow the masses. So all I got to do is wait till the season starts and see where all that money went. And if all that money's on the Arizona under, I sure feel pretty good being on that Arizona over because I'm pure contrarian. As Springsteen sang many years ago and growing up, when they said sit down, I stood up.
And that's Lou talking. Anything you want to add on NFL?
That's it.
Perfect. So we'll keep it rolling here, of course. Preseason starts tonight, 2 games on Friday night. Everybody else plays Saturday except for Seattle and Tennessee, I believe it was, plays Sunday night for preseason. We're just a few weeks away here, a couple weeks away, folks, for the NFL season getting underway. And we'll get more into that with Lou next week. But